Howdy y'all, Stock Warden here, back with another video. Today we're looking back at Palantir Technologies again, and to see just where this stock is starting to stack up to be able to show where it's moving towards, because we have had a pretty steady flat line over the past couple of weeks, and we are past due for a breakthrough. So we're going to break into a little bit of what's happened since Monday during this week on the current trend and why it's still showing what it's showing just ahead of the Q3 earnings report. So stay tuned to all the great news and more in the video. So starting off really strong, Palantir has signed a huge multi-million-dollar partnership with Lumen. And it is a full partnership where Lumen Technologies, which we had talked about before, that they were going to be partnering or doing a little bit of dabbling with Palantir Technologies, but they finally did it where just on Thursday, they entered into a multi-year, multi-million-dollar strategic partnership. So under the partnership, the companies will jointly offer Palantir's Foundry and AI platform with Lumen's connectivity fabric. So that's going to create a huge jump for all of this. So especially to be able to deploy artificial intelligence more quickly and securely. So Lumen has agreed to spend more than $200 million on Palantir software over a period of several years. So Bloomberg News reported on Thursday on this, citing people familiar with the matter, and the companies didn't want to share financial details of the deal and did not immediately respond to even Reuters' requests for comment, because with this being a huge contract over the course of multiple years, they're not going to have 100% of all the questions answered. So that, and then also knowing Palantir having so much going on with the U.S. Department of Defense and different governments across the world, and with Lumen trying to bring Palantir's Foundry of the baseline of their software up to even faster speed, to an even higher caliber, it's something that you're going to want to think about trying to keep somewhat under wraps, along with the actual specifics of the dollar amounts on the money aspect as well, because the money could be a heavy hit in the beginning and taper off as the years progress until the full integration is completed, or it could just be a standard setup note to be able to continue paying out over the course of the next couple of years. So there's a lot of different reasons why they wouldn't go full into comment on that. So, but it is more of a strategic one, not necessarily that they would be hiding something with this large of a partnership. So this is just going to be a absolutely huge digital networking solution, and they're aiming to bridge the gap between the advanced AI capabilities and high-performance network infrastructure required for enterprise AI transformation. So typically what that kind of boils down to, for my personal opinion on this, is that they are trying to get AI up to the quantum computing speed, because quantum computing is becoming a huge thing right now. It is not readily available because it is not able to be completely mass produced on a large scale yet, but it is being produced, it is being made, it is being proven to work, and it's the absolute new supercomputer where it turns everything that we thought we knew that was fast and amazing about the internet and just completely wipes it out. I mean, almost to the point where you're looking at the first computer filled up the size of a warehouse, and now our phones that we have in our pocket have computing power thousands of times better than that massive building of a piece of machinery that was the first computer. So then now this quantum chip is going even more leaps and bounds past that, and they're creating the AI to be even bigger, probably to be able to jump into that type of space and to be able to run at speed. So that's going to be something down the line, given throwing my conspiracy theory out there on why you need AI to have this magnitude and speed of power to just be able to continue running on the small integration systems that they've been running, and just trying to, make these small upgrades for the military and different healthcare and commercial acquisitions. They're going way above and beyond what you would typically think, which brings me to believe quantum is their next level, which is going to jump this company and this stock even more into the stratosphere, getting into something that huge. So, but back to the stock price and the money at hand. So, there have been a lot of different large trades that have been coming through with Palantir. So, everything's pretty split right now because you've got about a 40% bullish, 40% bearish, and the other 20% is staying neutral. So, between all of the analysis on volume and open interests in all of the different contracts that Palantir is holding, they are sitting at a complete price target of $135 on the low end, up to $220 a share on the high end for this past Q3 quarter. So moving into the next quarter, they are believing that it is going to be more of a neutral state into a bullish state, bringing that 135 up higher into a 155 category, and the 220 maybe branching up into a 240 to 245 category. Not hitting the 250 yet, but it is still showing growth where they're going to bring the entire system up. So, but they also have another setup as well, where if you look at your pricings to where they're saying that the stock is either overbought or oversold. So you have your overweight rating. So right now they have a hold on Palantir to where they're at 180, which is where the stock ended today. And then they also have a overweight rating targeting the price at $201 a share. So that's going to be something where they believe that these specific options are going to be possibly a riskier asset here in the short term. So, but they do believe that in the next 20 days that there is going to be an average of a 27% profit. So because that is also what they have averaged over the course of the past 6 months to a year, is that they've been able to throw out a solid 25 to 30% profit about on average every 20 days. So that's something that's going to be absolutely huge, which means we would be in the 200 price target range by Thanksgiving. So, but you also have to look at their volume. Their current trading is with a volume of 3.99 million for Palantir's sales volume, and then also their price currently is only up about 1% from where we've been looking over the past week. So we've had a lot of highs and a lot of lows, and they've all been closing relatively the same. So our marks have been set where we have our top breakthrough line at about 186, 187, and then we have a low end that we've been looking at that's at the 171, 172 marker. But it seems that the trend has been squeezing in a little bit more now, where the low breakthrough being the 171 is kind of where the peak low has been. And now it's kind of seeing that it's tightening up a little bit, where we're getting ready to break out of this flag, where now we're kind of seeing a trend where we're sitting solid on the 175 and coming across with all of these highs and lows for the bottom of all of these candles have been pushing up underneath the 175 right here on a solid resistance line here. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of the 171 because I'm just going to put it all in on 175 and up at this point with where they're standing. So, but you also have another company where you have RSI. Their readings are suggesting that the stock is currently neutral between overbought and oversold. So that means that they're believing that it's going to continue on this somewhat up and down trend. But with the way we've had a rise and heavy fall, a rise, a heavy fall, and then we've kind of just stayed pretty neutral over the past week and a half, then I believe once we end up getting to our earnings report in the next 11 days, which stay tuned for that video because it is going to be huge. And so when that comes out, that's really what's going to set the stock into a new price, which is where I'm looking to be able to capitalize. So, and I hope y'all are too. So I hope y'all liked the video. I hope y'all learned a little bit and got to be able to learn more on what's going on in the world of Palantir. So I know I kind of doubled down on this stock this week, but they had some really great news going through, and they also had some really amazing stuff coming out as well. So, and I'm just itching for the Q3 report because we have had nothing but exceeding expectations for Palantir over the past year. So stay tuned for all of that to come. So if you like the video, drop it a like. If there's anything that you think that you know about Palantir that I might have missed, drop it in the comment below. And also, if there's a certain stock that you hold or that you have in your stock portfolio, drop it down in the comments below too, because I'd love to be able to do a little more research and check out a new stock and bring it out to the community for everybody. So, this is the Stock Warden riding off. So y'all come back now, you hear?